Sazan Visser has been serving a 7-year jail sentence for indecent assault and the manufacturing and possession of child pornography. She was also found guilty of defrauding a children's home. Correctional Services says she qualified for parole because she has served half of her sentence. Visser will be placed under strict bail conditions. For more on the story, I'm joined on the line by the project coordinator of the Civil Society Prison Reform Initiative, Lukas Muntingh. Lukas, a very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us this morning. Lukas, is parole to be expected in a case like this where she's only served half of her prison sentence?
Good morning. The Correctional Services Act determines as a rule of thumb that any person sentenced to imprisonment must serve at least half of the sentence before they can be considered for parole. And then it is the decision of the parole board, with the exception of those serving life imprisonment, where it's the minister, to determine whether the person can be released on parole to serve the remainder of the sentence in the community. And as is the case, if there are no substantial reasons to refuse parole, for example, if the prisoner did not cooperate with the authorities, if they made themselves guilty of further offences in the prison, did not participate in programs and so forth, then the parole board has little rational reason to not to grant parole.
And Lukas, under what conditions do you think her parole should include now that she is going to be released?
Of course, I don't have all the facts in front of me, but one would assume that some of those conditions would include that she would refrain from going to certain places, that she would be under house arrest for certain hours of the day, that she not associate with certain people, and so forth.
And what happens if she violates any of these conditions?
It depends on the type of violation. If it's a minor one, she can get a warning, but if it's a more serious violation, they can immediately place her in custody, and there's then a review process that will determine whether she will return to prison to serve the remainder of her sentence there.
Lukas, in your opinion, do you think that we need to relook the laws when it comes to people who are accused of cases involving child pornography? Do you think these laws need to be tougher?
I think our sentencing regime is already quite tough as it is, and then there's also the sex offender register and the child protection register. So if those two registers are functional, that should provide adequate protection, provided that they are scrupulously followed and applied.
News that moves. eNCA.com.